Elon Musk is considering sending all Americans $5,000 checks using DOGE savings. James Fishback, an alleged outside advisor to DOGE, pitched the idea on X, stating that it would be a, quote, tax refund check to be sent after the expiration of DOGE in July 2026, funded exclusively with portions of the total savings delivered by DOGE. The proposal calls for 20% of DOGE's target $2 trillion in savings to be returned to the approximate 79 million tax-paying households, which the advisor said would result in about $5,000 per household. Musk responded with tweets by saying he will, quote, check with the president. Read more at Forbes.com.
Now, this is a conversation that, of course, is going to get everyone extremely excited. The conversation of you are going to get a check is going to have so many people get extremely excited. But what's interesting about this is this, okay? According to the U.S. Census, there's 163 million people who are working right now. The number that they got is saying how per household, I don't know where they got that number from, but it's 163 million tax-paying workers currently, okay? If they get a $5,000 check, that would mean DOGE would need to free up $815 billion, okay? That's how much savings they would need to do in order to give that $5,000 check. Of course, to people out there, they are extremely excited, but there's two camps when it comes to this. And this is why I did this video, because I think this conversation is really interesting. There's two camps when it comes to receiving this paycheck, okay? There's one camp that's not that excited about this paycheck, about receiving these checks. They feel like this is some sort of a buyout, right? Like, all these people are getting fired, all these cuts are happening, here's a check. So you're getting a check to just be silenced. So a lot of people just refusing it. They're seeing what's going on right now. They're seeing in social media how so many federal employees are getting fired. And a lot of Americans are extremely worried about the benefits as well. We know Social Security is a big conversation. And it feels like for years they're trying to reduce it or eliminate it. They're always trying to do something when it comes to Social Security. So there's people out there who are really worried, and receiving that $5,000 check is not going to help so many people out there as far as like alleviate the stress that they have with thinking like all these services they have is going to be reduced or gone completely, right? Especially a lot of veterans out there as well. My wife is a veteran, and she is really concerned about disability checks or any type of VA services that she gets, right? And I understand there's people out there, they're going to have a negative opinion about it. They're going to say, whatever, they're mooching the system, blah, blah, blah. Screw them. They're unpatriotic. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that people are going to say. And I get it. That's just right now how the political climate is. So that's why this conversation is an interesting conversation. So you get the camp of the people who just say, I don't want it. It's a cop-out. Give it to people who just got laid off or fired, or just keep it to pay down a debt, right? Because right now we're in a deficit. So pay that debt down as much as possible. And they don't want it, okay? That's the one camp. Of course, get the other camp, because we cannot lie, right? Right now, people are currently struggling paycheck to paycheck living. Inflation is increasingly high, and everyone right now is just stressed when it comes to money. So the idea of receiving that check to some is like, sign me up. I've been paying taxes for years and not getting the benefits of my tax return that I feel like I should be getting. And right now, the economy is struggling, so they want that check, right? Of course, who wouldn't want to have that check? We remember the stimulus package that was passed. People were extremely excited about getting those checks. No one questioned anything. They got that check, extremely excited. So you get the camp of people who want it, because let's be honest, it will help out so many families during these times, right? $5,000 per person, it will help out so many people during these times. Let's not front. That is a lot of money. Now, even though at the beginning of the video I said $815 billion is how much they need to save, Trump did hear this message, right? Because, they had a conversation about it. And Trump did say he likes the idea of 20% of that money going to the people and 20% going to the deficit, which leaves the other like 60%. Who knows? But so with that being the case, if it's only 20% going to people, let's say they do free up $815 billion. They're estimated to be more, but let's say they do. They free up $815 billion. That would mean that right now you would get $1,000 check, right? So it's not 5,000, it's 1,000. But I'm going to tell you something right now, which is something I've seen online I want to share with you guys. Right now, there's a whole bunch of fuzziness going on with how much money was actually saved already with this whole DOGE assignment, right? Or efficiency assignment that they're doing. It was reported was 55 billion. That's what they reported. But then they made an error, right? They reported some type of contract for 8 million when actually it was it was for 8 billion they reported it, and actually it was for 8 million. So they turned around to fix that. When it's all was said and done, really all they saved was $8 billion. Okay, so with all these layoffs and all these changes that they're making, I don't want to say layoffs, they're just firing people straight up. And all these cuts that they're doing to the FAA, to the CFPB, right, to all the IRS, everyone is getting fired and laid off, and all they saved was $8 billion. They have a long hill to climb in order for them to get $815 billion in order for them to pass down the refund that people want. I'm telling you right now, I'm a very optimistic person, but I do not see how much more you can cut to get to that amount of money to free up to the people, right? They're just doing it, in my opinion, to have a conversation, because it is a conversation. And let's be quite honest, even if some people, if it's a $500 check, they'll even take that. If it's a $300 check, they will even take that. But once again, you have the camp that doesn't want nothing to do with these checks. What do you guys think? Do you think them cutting a check is a good thing? Or do you feel like, you know what, keep that check, I don't want it, I know where it's coming from, I feel like you're trying to buy me out, and I'm not down with it? Drop a comment down below, because I would love to hear everyone's opinion about it. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.